We're live. Oh, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is your Sensei Al Bob, and I'm here with you on a Sunday morning. And it's sunny and it's hot, so we're gonna have big thunderstorms this evening. We're kind of getting into the old school summertime weather where it's a little foggy in the morning, burns off by 9 a.m. Then it's sunny, 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 9 a.m. till 3. Then it clouds up. By 4 or 5, it starts to thunder. By 5, it starts to rain. 5 to 9, rains pretty hard. Um, I'm pretty set. I have no money. I can't really, haven't been going anywhere, so I haven't been on the internet. I went and got some stone by the side of the road to fix my I'm making steps into another temple. I have plenty of room for you folks to come and visit and learn from my mystery school. um, so get a hold of me at the dudewake42 at gmail, dudewake42 at gmail. And it's summertime. Come and visit anyone in United States or anywhere really where who can get to the United States and travel the United States. Come visit me. Just call, get a hold of me on my email, the dude awake 42 at gmail. The dude awake 42 at gmail. All one thing, all lowercase. I look forward to seeing you. And if you send me a picture of your hand, like from around there to the tips, like that, like that, like that's kind of perfect. And then the other side, I definitely give you a reading. Then we could communicate, and then I could give you a deeper reading, and the depth of your reading could level what you're doing in your life. You could continue to be a mushy sock puppet, same as you always are, controlled by the hidden hand making your life miserable, or you can just live a life of service to love's co-creation. It's all up to you guys. Now, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to Dreamy Dreamland. And I want to thank those few folk who send me something. Things are getting hard. I used to have 4 people who at least sent me $20, if not 17 or 2 or 3, but something showing their love and appreciation. Um, Last month, nobody sent anything. That was quite surprising. And those folks don't have anything, but they still sent something. And usually that got it by, and I haven't really had access to anything monetarily. I live on $400, so without that little bit of pillow, of 40 to 70 bucks a month, um, it makes it difficult. So I can't go anywhere, and gas has gotten real expensive. So to go drive into town, like I may tomorrow, depending on the weather, um, you know, um, unless I got a bunch of things to see the doctor, get my medicine, do this, do that, do that. I don't go anywhere unless I got like 10, 15 things to do. I just don't go out for a little jaunt because I just don't have the cash. I just don't have the money. So please send me something on my PayPal. I mean, don't oh, I'm scared of PayPal. Well, there's lots of ways to send it so you're semi, you know, they can't go after take all your money, and you don't really have any money. Mm. So, the 18th of May was my 4th year anniversary, and I have something on the order of 2,200 shows. Right? Some are better than others, but all somewhat entertaining. And remember, this show is only for entertainment's sake. I don't do it for anything else. And all of you snowflakes, all of you people who, oh, I believe only what I believe. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear anything else. Everyone else is a daddy. Everyone is a poochy head. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear anything. White man, great. White man, great. Or any other, isolated, stupid group. Not just white men. White men aren't the only stupid group. And if you don't get the feeling, or if you don't see it right in plain sight that you're freaking being played, you know, no, I was a itinerant scholar for the Hidden Hand for a good 30 years. I was a more um, larger employed investigator for the 30 years before that. So 60 years I've been practicing the discipline of the shamanic, psychosocial, cultural, forensic, anthropologic alchemy. And you say, Sensei Bob, what is that? So we look at shamanism, right? Shamanism isn't a religion. It is a frame, a worldview where we see that everything is connected. We're all in a big link. We're all our relations. Every feathered, skinned, scaled, warm-blooded, cold-blooded, silicon, iron-based consciousness is our brother and sister. We're all our relations, and we're all connected 9 generations from the past into the future. And it's up to you to step to what it is. Otherwise, you will be run over. You will be manipulated. You will be uh, uh, just exposed to something you don't want to be exposed to. Sorry, I can't help you with that. But unless you are consciously intent, unless you're consciously aware, and of course, hey, I'm your griot, your sensei Al Bob, and I'm a moron 40% of the day. But I stay aware. Oh, ooh, look, I'm being a moron. Okay, let's step back a little further. Let's see what caused that. Why am I doing it? Oh, what do I have to learn? So that's what it's about. It's up to us to step forward, to be real, to you know be part of the show, as they say. So, what else can I say? Anybody there? Oh, no, there's 2 people there. Any comments? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome you to YouTube's Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei El Bob. Your Sensei El Bob. Um, you know. Let's see. I'm just. Weather's kind of. It does this in a day, and my body kind of likes this. My body's like a human barometer. So when it does this, bones start to ache, things don't work too well. My sight gets worse, or it gets better. It was really surreal bad 2 weeks ago. I thought it was going blind, but now it's back to whatever, modus medium. It's okay. It's anyway, but that is all part of aging, and you take advantage of whatever aspect you are at, and what perspective it lends to you, right? And what learning you can learn, right? This person is making me go,
The ancient Egyptians understood that they could use sound to reduce their weight and the gravitational effect. Through archaeoacoustic research, we are now close being able to duplicate those megalithic temples.
Sound in combination with technology would produce gravitational effects.
Yep. Teleswam Premium.
Hi there, everyone. So what everyone wants to know today is, what do I think about the first episode of the Deep End series on Hulu? So here I am, unedited, and I'm going to tell you what I think so far. First, I want you to remember that you're watching a TV show that was done about me. that I did not get any payment for and that I have no control over. And one of the most vulnerable and nerve-wracking things in the world is watching someone else's portrayal of you and your life. First, let's start with the positives. Visually, it's beautiful, high quality, and cinematic. I loved the positive testimonials from fans, supporters, and people who understand me and my vision for the change that is needed in this world. This shows that what I am doing has really had a positive and deep impact on so many people. And that means everything to me. It is what keeps me going every day. This episode made it very clear that I am about the truth. I think viewers will get a very clear idea that myself, as well as those who follow my material, are about very deep, raw, real, honest stuff. Quite frankly, a lot of you are sick of the pretense and are looking for something very real. It is clear that I'm not just going to tell someone something that makes them feel good, when it is clear that doing so will not help them to recognize and break free from destructive patterns. And for people who are not ready for that kind of reality check, deep dive, or change themselves yet, they can clearly know it's not for them yet. I am very happy about the scene where I'm explaining the difference between healing and just feeling better. In this segment, I also got to present to the world the idea that regarding mental health, we need to start asking what happened to you instead of what is wrong with you. Sometimes a good idea has to come from someone on the outside. In this case, someone on the outside of the traditional mental health field.
Whatever that meant. Okay. Yeah, well, people always going to blab about you. What can I say? Oh, that's why I'm not really too much on social media. You are the closest. YouTube is the only thing close to social media. And back in '94, there was a guy in Asheville who was an EMT and a nurse, but he was really a brilliant computer coder and you name it. And he had this basement shop right next to my loft downtown on Tingle Alley in Asheville, North Carolina, back in 1994, where I paid $50 for a 5,000 square foot loft a month. They sold that space for $50 million, and that kind of says it like it is about when something's really good, money has to come in and destroy it. Money isn't bad, but when you only are, like around here, there's this thing called Watoga Mercantile that has bought up everything and is turning it into one gigantic banner elk, right? North Carolina and Watoga's in Tennessee, right on the border, kind of right where I live. But I live about 20 miles from that. I live right on the very squirrely corner of Tennessee, North Carolina, and three counties, right? And in the middle of nowhere, and there is I don't even have a zip code. That's how out in the middle of nowhere I am. But I'm only 32 miles to Johnson City. I'm only 28 miles to Boone. I'm only 30 miles to Mountain City. So, and about 50 miles to Kingsport. So I'm right in that little squirrely neck of the woods. And it's so Kingsport, has one of the largest liquid natural gas storage tanks on the planet, right? Because they make plastics and they make all kinds of squirrely chemicals. And if for some reason, and they not only have one world's largest liquid, they have LPG and LNG, and those tanks were built in the 70s, 80s, 90s, O's, 10s, 20s, 50 years old, and so and those gases, that liquid is like cryogenic, really cold, and so when they had the COVID lockdown, they basically went to a skeleton staff. And the corporate guys realized, hey, look, we don't need 1,000 guys running this place. We can do it with 20. Look how much money we'll send. We're going to fire all these guys. Good luck with that. You know. So when that place goes up, it's going. There's a. I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, there was a chemical plant owned by an American chemical company, but the plant was so dangerous they put it in India. It was called Bhopal, and it killed about, I don't know, umpteen thousand people because the plant kind of had a oops, and it disgorged itself of all its toxicity out into the air of the population that lived all around it. And Kingsport is at the top of this valley that goes all the way. It's the accordion between the Appalachian Mountains and the Blue Ridge. Blue Ridge kind of go to just on the edge of DC and Virginia. The Appalachian go all the way up to Canada. And so there's this valley right, all the way, and the Roanoke Valley is part of that valley. New Mountain Valley is that valley. And so if Kingsport were ever to have a serious bullpup kind of uh, thing, it would be backed up by enough liquid natural gas and propane, to be equal to a couple of nuclear weapons. Boom. And so beyond that, the weather pattern comes straight from California, straight from the Pacific, straight across America, and bounces off of the mountain range I live in, the Sawtooth Mountains, and either goes north or south. And it goes north, it kind of goes through Kingsport and blows through that valley all the way up to upstate New York. And if it goes south, it goes down, on the other side of the Blue Ridge and goes down to the coast. So if there was ever a big accident, boom, boom, and all of that disgorging went, all of that toxicity you know, would be blown by the internal weather that goes straight down that valley. And there are about 100 million Americans that live, from there all the way to Boston. And that's what an accident at Kingport would, you know, basically manifest. And Kingsport has been a chemical place since the 1880s, since the Civil War. So some of that technology is pretty old. And now it doesn't have the thousands of guys watching over it. It's only got a handful because they oh, look, we're making so much money. And that's what happens when you have a corporate oligarchy. That's what we have. We don't have a democracy. You know, we don't have a fascist state. We are beyond fascist state. We're beyond where nationalist socialism was. And so and all if you don't realize, there are all these folks who are scholastics and you want to, prove that I'm wrong. They call me up, say, "Oh, what are you talking about? What do you mean? What's Vlad's meaning? Script and switch? What?" Well, one of the two of Vlad is that he's either gone nuts, he flipped the switch, or he's reading Mr. Globaloni's script, and all the folks who are all the generals that are getting whacked, all the oligarchies that are getting whacked. It's just paring down that, and the only people going to be left are those who are 100% behind Mr. Globaloni. And Mr. Globaloni has to take out Russia, China, United States, EU, England, and reshape them into their Mr. Globaloni's image and likeness. And now he's already kind of done that. We're already there. But we have to make that big step. And they were planning to have that big step be in 2050. But it's a horse race because people are waking up. And I suggest anyone who watches this basically, go, oh, 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 oh. It's never good to leave these guys in the sun like that. They weren't in the sun to begin with. They were. Uh, do, 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 do. Working in the big field. Ooh! Oh, where the man was whipping my ass. Woo! Come on, let's all sing the slave song. Come on. Jiggle, what do you got to jiggle? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Well, I'm my brother. Ooh. Ah. I never said his name. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, yes, we're. Hey, 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 hey. Come on. I heard my mama say. So we're already in darkness. We've been in darkness, and in the beginning, all things were dark. Well, it never stopped being dark. Sorry. And everything you've ever been told is one big, fat, stinky, diarrhea lie. Right? Oh, do.
You see when you're young and you go back, that's it. That's the thing. That's the thing to be. And I wanted to be just like him, getting every word in the right spot. Because when he did it, it thrilled me, And
He talks about George Carlin.
The constitutional right to abortion is under attack. The Supreme Court, with its super...
And that's not the only thing under attack, gang. Roe's been around for 50 years. I mean, that's a long time to be a law, right? And not to say that that's not the law. Oh, it's just something, a flash in the pan. We can get rid of it. That means they can get rid of marriage between races. That means they can get rid of rights for gay and lesbian couples. So lesbians and gay folk can't get married. That will get rid of whatever trans rights people think they might have. And that gets into biology. So you're looking at, and so what happens? So they get rid of Roe. That means they're going to dump at least 2 million babies on the street. And all of those Christians who are all for, what about the infants' right? What about the fetuses? They're all down for the rights of a living thing from fetus, insemination to birth. But after that, fuck them. Throw it on it. Let the train run over them. Let the bus run. It's their fault that they were born. They could have been aborted, but it's their fault that they were the sinners. Oh, good for that. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. And good 3 years ago, I started talking about the big splat, right? And I kept saying, hey, Wile E. Coyote, wee, woo, and right, that's us, right? And we are Wile E. Coyote. The Acme rocket is already puttered out, and it's already heading straight down at hyperspeed. And do. And we got morons. With this guy.
Practice games. That was a step the United States couldn't tolerate, and therefore that set in motion.
This is a scholar.
The dynamics.
Not a scholar, excuse me.
Academic. Regime change in Russia.
Right.
Yeah, but it would have been a lot easier. They said, hey. I mean, just like George H. did back in 91 to 94, the 1,000 points of light, let's get along. Russia was going along with it. Let's go back to that and really take care of that. And let's make it so everyone can get along and be safe and be happy, which would be...
Wait a minute, what are you talking about? We gave that up a long time ago. We gave that up after the end of the
We never gave it up. We never had it.
But that was only one group that did that. There were a lot of other other people, just like all the folks that you linked me to watch. Scott, what's his name, and the other
Yeah,
three.
but he's just an observer. He's not a player.
No, but he is a vocal voice, and there are lots of other vocal voices that have been saying, "Hey,"
Not like
and
this
who
shit
were,
hadn't been
have
seen.
the gravitas and authority, meaning they were working for the government. They were right there on the ground while it was going on. They did have the experience, and there's so many books written about this that a lot of people, in the government anyway, should understand what's going on, but they play politics, and it wasn't like America couldn't stand China and Russia. All that, America had to do is go, okay, it's just, one of the interesting things, you look at Donald Trump, and everyone goes, oh, he's either like a god or, just a moron, stupid Larry that, just by mistake he got there. But no, he did a lot of good things. And one of the interesting things he did was he redid NAFTA. And if you go read what NAFTA was and then what NAFTA became after they rewrote it and gave it a different name, but it was still the same document, basically. But they brought it up to what's going on in those markets today. Before, when it was first started, it was about making cars.
See, I kind of try to make sense of that stuff, and other people just go, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to stop even talking to those guys because it's like they say the same thing all the time. And they say I say the same thing all the time. And maybe I do, but it's normally just because I'm responding to their, I don't even know what to call it. So I won't give it a name, right? But I do know what to call a opportunity that's right in front of us. And that is if everyone were to just in every day in every way take their piece of the earth and make it stronger. If they just was their best, if they just had their conscious intent in doing their best in love's co-creation, to serve love's one love as the artist in the first person, right? And so what is that? That is taking the shamanic, psychosocial, cultural, forensic, anthropologic alchemy tool. So, the worldview of the shamanic. It's not a religion. It's not a priest. It's a worldview, right? It's like democracy, except shaman worldview is everyone's the we and me, and not it's all mine, mine, mine. It's all about me. I'm exceptional. Everybody else, screw you. Not really. Oh, and I'm a Christian. You're down with Jesus. Whatever. But I'll kill anybody for Jesus. And so, that's kind of where we're at. We're at this very squirrely place. And if Vlad goes, things will get worse because the only people who are going to take his place, he's not good, and so I'm definitely this boy's been set up. Whether he realized it, whether he's read the script or flipped the switch, I have no idea. But he's either going to take us all with him or leave us with people even scarier than him. So that's what I'm seeing coming down the thing. And those guys won't think twice about using tactical nuclear weapons. A bunch of guys are keeping the whole Russian military might at bay with just a few handful of toys, and so they're getting pretty pissed off every time they roll their tanks towards something instead of people going oh and running away. Basically, these guys step up and logistically, strategically kick the Russians' ass, right? Now people, oh no, this is exactly what they planned. They planned all of this. This is their, they just, yeah, they planned all this. Oh, and all those, they didn't, just run out of gas. No, 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 they planned that. So, as all of their planning brings them closer and closer to defeat, their generals will say, "Fuck it, let's just use a few tacks, just right there, blow it out, so we can go on through and just keep blowing shit up right in front of us, and we'll just blow on through. And yeah, all our boys will get totally radioactive and die in about 6 years. But hey, who fucking cares? You know? Or there's a lot of things that could be done. They could stop just what they're doing. Okay, everyone, stop. Right where you are, stop. Stop shooting. Stop blowing things up. Stop shooting shells. You Ukrainian guys, you step back. Just stop shooting. Build your nice strong line where it was, but don't shoot. Right? Let's get at the table and negotiate this. Right? Let's do it. And they could start doing that, and a lot less people would die. Right? And then they could say, okay, this Donbass, we're going to make that a semi-autonomous zone. And in Russia, we're going to make this zone all across our border, right? About a mile. And we're just going to stick a shitload of um, you know, mines, and it's a no man's land, kind of like between North Korea and South Korea. And we're going to stick a whole bunch of artillery on above that. So anybody comes across that line, they're going to be obliterated. Period. That's it, right? Be just a buzzsaw, meat grinder, take you out. And you do the same thing on your side. And then we go and we negotiate and negotiate and negotiate. We get to a better place than where we were before we started all of this. And that would be a military entity like NATO that would be more or less planetary. And, it would be the UN's, peacekeeping force, but something a little more, it had everybody in it, right? So um, everyone would have a standing army that would be defensive, very similar to Japan. But no one wants to attack Japan because their navy is the third best. You know, for its size, it's probably the best. But it's the you don't want to touch their navy. I mean, they will kick your freaking ass, right? Same with their don't want to invade their country, right? So and they have enough resources to develop um, you know ICBMs with nuclear weapons probably within a week. Right? So um, we could lean into that because otherwise, Mr. Colomboloni is going to bring his friends in from outer space, and they will do a similar reptile motif as the 1990s TV show V and the 1990s early O's show Gene Roddenberry's Earth Final Conflict. Those two are very poignant. And I'm saying that sometime between now and Halloween and probably 4th of July, something, this will, you thought COVID was wild, and COVID was nothing. COVID was SARS 2. SARS 1 was scary. That killed you. SARS 2 just made you sick. And if you were going to die anyway, you'd probably die of that. So, that's it. It's like me. I got the COVID. I'm pretty sure early on, and I was taking my all my vitamins and other supplements, and it was like I had and just for a day or two, I stayed in bed, drank a lot of water, took my supplements, made myself a big thing of chicken soup, and it was all good. And I got better. And about within a year, they had a vaccine which I took because if I didn't, I wouldn't have any wasn't the movie What About Bob about you? I mean, because see, I am, as most people are, not just one personality. We are many personalities, right? And so, because we're all of this, collective, and the more you're aware of your collectiveness, the more you're aware of your different characteristics. Now, some of those characteristics, that's why multiple personalities can get scary because instead of you realizing that you're got a bunch of these guys in you and they come out when you're responding to different situations. But if you can be connected to all of them, then that's the full Monty of who you are, right? Just get stuck in one of those personalities at any one time for extended period. You can be that loving, beautiful person, or that psychopath that will kill everyone. So you have to be aware, consciously aware of who you are, of what you're doing here, what's going on, why you're here, you know and but it's not about what dress you're wearing or what boots you got or what your car is or your job or any of those kind of things mean religion or meaning. They're all the same. There's only one God, only one creator. Whether you're Muslim or Christian or Jewish or Hindu or Buddhist or whatever, those are all cultural dynamics. They change in the same Oh, do 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 do. Because now the sun has changed. It's no longer got all the windows open, but it is toasty. Uh, so I'm gonna go back and check my. See, my coffee is ready. Um, what else? This tab is using your camera. Okay, we get rid of that. I'll close this. Uh, cancel that, and we're still doing a live stream. So whoever was using my my camera, we're still on live stream. We're still at that. Let's see who else is here. Bill, Bob. No, I'm good. Are you gonna get a beauty show? He's having a beauty show. I don't know. I mean, at sometimes John is quite fun and informative and all the above. Other times, so we'll see. I'm taking every moment at its. The only moment I know I have is this one I have with you, right? And I really don't stay abreast. John will gets into riffs of texting me and emailing me these voluminous things, and I kind of look at him, and the more voluminous, the more he's blaming other people for how terrible he feels, and so however you feel is not because somebody else did something to you. It's what how you're responding to what someone's doing to you slash your own. Ooh, nice little cool breeze. Ooh, the harbinger of the thunderstorm to come. 'Cause it's freaking hot. It's like a microwave oven. So let's see. What does that say? I still have the audio clip of you King One as my. Oh, I can't get that last word. The most important word I can't read. ringtone? Oh, on your ringtone. Barking. Well, I'm a dog boy, you know. Me and what's his name? He played 8 Ball in that war movie, Kelly's Heroes. Donald Sutherland. Everyone says I look like Donald Sutherland. You know, especially when I was younger. You look just like Donald Sutherland. Are you Donald Sutherland? There was Tijuana Taxi, the guy with the trumpet, the girl covered in whipped cream. Everyone said Al Hurd, I think. Al. Anyway, they said I look like, and there were a lot of people who said I look like other people, other authors, other singers, other artists. They never said, "Are you Al Bob?" So, ringtone. Well, I am honored to be on your ringtone. I really am. You know, and so come and visit, please, please. I'm really I don't want to talk all the time about, hey, throw some money in my PayPal, but it would surely be nice. You know, I would appreciate it. You would see me more. You know, I'm very, very. You know, I have a choice. I live out in beauty, and what's truly interesting is the last few weeks it's been nicer and nicer. It's gotten really deep green. It's gotten a lot quieter. The animals are back. I thought they would never come back, but they're back, and so it's all good. You know. Be a dog. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, we have to have more of a more a deeper understanding. I think this is the same guy there who eases into being a troll. You know, now you know we are. We've had Dragon, and there's a ton of brothers and sisters who are a little rough at the edges, but they not smoothed out, but became one of the more honored members of the cadre. So I still have Jay is what your pinkish dot Jay. Phone. So I had to wait for a while to get some money to re-energize my phone. So come on, guys. You know, I'm doing my thing. I'm carrying my weight here, but I'm gonna go because it's really getting toasty. Okay, with the mosty. What time is it? What does it say? I can't even read that. I mean, why would you have a gray background? I mean, a blue background with gray letters. You know, who thought that was cool? I mean, guys, I can't read that. Sorry. And then you have a black background with gray letters. It's like, really? You really? Okay. You have the mic covered. Now, the mic covered? Where do I have the mic covered? Am I? How about now? Where is the mic? Where's it located? You're gonna have to get one of those things, those ear things. Oh, I can't even need that. Now you know, black on black. I can't even read that. Anyway, so it's great to see you all, and I look forward to seeing you again when I have some. So send some money to PayPal, PayPal. The Dude Awake 42 at Gmail, Dude Awake 42 at Gmail, and Mr. or Miss J, get a hold of me. Let's have a little more better because I can make those letters green, bigger. I can, have a white background with black deep letters so I can actually read it. This I can't really. I can't even read that. So, stay well, be good. God bless. All the rest. I'm getting out of the sun. It's just getting too toasty. So I gotta go. I've been on for. Oh, I'm gonna wait for. Yep, there it is. 45. Okay. Love you guys. Do, do, do.